Well, welcome back. At his news conference earlier today, Michigan coach Rich Rodriguez says he plans to rotate 3 quarterbacks in the season opener against Western Michigan: Tate Forcier, Denard Robertson, and Nick Sheridan.
Yeah, that comment no doubt hurt in Kalamazoo, where Bronco head coach Bill Cubit was already concerned with how to attack Michigan's defense. The Wolverines have a new D coordinator this season. This past week, I sat down with Coach Cubit to talk everything about the season opener coming up at Michigan to how pumped he is for the new season to kick off.
Now, you said in media day that I think the quote was, "You're thrilled to death right now getting ready for this season." Why are you so, everyone's optimistic at this time, why are you seem to be even more optimistic than maybe others?
Well, I think we're out there and it's the kids, the way they're interacting, we're really young. But at the same time, there's a lot of enthusiasm out there. And when you're going out there, you really enjoy coaching. And I think it also helps you have a fifth-year senior quarterback, and he understands what's going on. And the relationship that him and Ryan have at the quarterback is just huge. So I'm enjoying it. I'm really having a good time. And I think the other thing, too, is it's the first time we've had our full staff together. We've had many staff changes and going through those growing pains.
Your fifth-year senior quarterback, Tim Hiller, it seems, maybe to some of us covering you, it seems like this is probably his 8th or 9th year here. Yeah. It probably seems that way. Obviously, you wouldn't mind having him a few years. How good is he? I know you've talked to pro scouts about him. Is he, I don't know, we want to get too far down the road because you've got a whole other season in front of you, but is he a legitimate pro prospect? I know his name is up for the Davey O'Brien Award, different award that he's on the watch list now. How good is he?
Well, I think he's pretty good, and at the pro scouts, I never understand what they're exactly looking for, because they never tell you, they don't bother. But the guys that have been through here the last week, they all think that he's going to be a legitimate guy that can possibly go on to the next level and play. So, but for us, he's invaluable. He understands the offense, understands what the defense is trying to take away from him, and where he can attack it. And then the leadership part is something that people can't see outside, but what he does for our football team and the confidence factor they have in him when he lines up is huge.
You ever think you'd see the day where the quarterbacks from Western and Central and Dan Lefevre would be getting preseason accolades, and the guys at Michigan and Michigan State would be the unproven guys? Like, who are those guys?
Yeah, exactly. And it's I think that really says a lot. With what's happened up there at Central, and of course what's happening down here. And we've been really fortunate to send some guys to the next level and done well. But I think it's interesting. I think it also speaks a lot of volumes about the quality of coaching and the type of systems that we're running that would enable these guys to go out there and get some really good stats that look good in the country and anybody else that plays in any BCS conferences.
Central Western, always a good rivalry, regardless of the records, and we'll always say that come game week, and I'm sure you guys do, whether you're 1-8 heading in or 8-1 heading in. How nice that what you've been able to do here, and even though you want to beat those guys from the mountain town, is there a respect factor for what they've been able to do also? And now, I mean, this rivalry is getting, it's always going to be big here, but it's bigger now throughout the conference, and people elsewhere are taking notice of it.
Yeah, I think it's big. I mean, when I first got here, when I was assistant, we played the first game here, and it was a rivalry. But I think once you go to the other team, their stadium, you get a little bit more big of a taste of it. And I think when I first got in there, I heard some comments. We got to get the Michigan schools at the top level of the MAC, because when I got in there, we were 1-10. I think, Brian, he didn't have a very good year his first year, but then the program's just consistently been getting better. And we're now, when you talk about the top of the MAC, both schools are being mentioned. I think that's a real credit to both of the staffs.
9-4 last season, coming off the bowl game trip. 7 offensive starters returning, including your quarterback, Mr. Hiller. Only 4 on defense, though. So some people, of course, we in the media or other people might look at that and say, hey, maybe they're going to be involved in some high-scoring games, but you don't see it that way.
No, I don't. I really like what I'm seeing over on the defensive side. We got more depth than we've ever had. We got some guys that maybe haven't played a lot of football, so people don't know about them. We have some guys who have been waiting in the wings, and if you're sitting behind Willis Delmas, who's the first safety taking the NFL draft, you will have some talent, but people just don't know about you. But what I like about it is the enthusiasm and the pressure defenses we're putting out there. That Steve's done a good job in terms of coordinating the defense.
3 weeks or so till Michigan. How nice. I mean, you guys, whether it's a Nebraska or a Georgia or some of your big season opening games, it's not like you have to do much. It's not like the Hofstra game or whatever is first. You don't have to do much to get these guys fired up. How fired up are they, and you guys as a coaching staff to open up the season right down 94 at the Big House?
Well, I think right now we really haven't focused one second on Michigan for our guys. We have this big thing in the process, take one day at a time, and 10 days before that game we'll introduce a lot of schemes in there. But it's hard because we had the new defensive coordinator. We don't have a whole lot of research on him, and offensively you got some, but they're going to have to change a little because of the type of personnel that they have, new quarterback. So, but they got the same issue too. I mean, there's certain things that they've seen maybe with Jamarco where we wouldn't use for somebody else. So, defensively, we may have some different schemes that we haven't shown before. So, it's one of those things. It's a game of adjustments, the first game, but I know our kids going down 94 are going to get pretty excited when they go up there. And of course, when you go into that place, you better be excited because that's what college football is all about.
You joke also about the honorary membership in the Big Ten with Michigan, Indiana, Michigan State on the schedule. How nice to be able to play that kind of schedule that other people are going to be taking notice of. And also, you mentioned no flights this year. You're able to bust all these games and do that. Do you like the way the schedule sets up, and do you like what the administration here is doing as far as putting schedules together?
Yeah, I like this part here. I mean, that sometimes we're traveling so much on the planes and getting back at all hours of the night, and when you take the 2-hour flight, it's not a 2-hour flight. It's you got to get there 2 hours before the flight's going off, and then getting back and getting your bags, and it's just a long, dreary process. I mean, it's hard. And here you just get on the bus and you go down an hour and a half, 2 hours down the road, and get in a hotel and be ready to go. And Indiana's a little bit further trip, but I like what they're doing. It's more regional. I think our fans will appreciate it a lot more.
All right, entering your 5th season here. Obviously, with what was going on before you got here and able to get the program turned around quickly, going into year number 5, is this where you want it to be? And where do you want this program to go? Well,
it's not exactly where I want it to be because you got to win a championship in order to get where you need to go. But in terms of the quality kids we got and the academic strides we've made in this program here, breaking the school record 3 straight years on academics and community service, giving over 5,000 hours of community service to the community. That part I'm happy with. We can do a little bit better, but we probably are getting close to where the peak is going to be. Football, we're not there yet. We need to take care of business and win that MAC title. Until we do, then we'll still be falling short.
How nice to be a grandpa. What, two times over this since the last time you guys played?
Yeah.
How nice.
Yeah, it really is. My daughter had a beautiful girl, and we got to spend some time with her during the summer. And then during the summer, Ryan, he had his girl, and another just beautiful baby. It just changes your life. So for me and my wife Nancy, we're just ecstatic on taking a new role in the family. But they're fun to be around.
All right, and tell us about this endowment fund that you guys have created.
Yeah, I did. Rob Hunt, to his credit, he came in and wanted to talk, and made a lot of sense for us. And I think it gives me an opportunity to get back to this university. And you see a lot of great student athletes here, not just in football and in all sports. And if I can help out and enhance the student the academic services that they have up there, if I can do anything, I should do something. And so they've been good to me, and I just want to give back and be good to them.
Now, as part of that endowment, Coach Cubit and his wife Nancy have given $50,000 to establish a permanent fund for academic services within the athletic department.
For the first time in nearly 2 full years, Floyd Mayweather Jr. about to